welcome again to my YouTube channel Literary Readers. I'm Pratibha. Now, before we proceed to the detailed summary of the book Utopia, let's discuss something about the book Utopia in brief. Now, like you all know that the book Utopia was written by the writer Thomas More in the year 1516 in the language Latin, and later it was translated in the language English in the year 1551. Now the work Utopia is in two books. In the book 1, there is a debate among three characters, and they are the writer Thomas More, another character Peter Giles, and Raphael Hitloday, in which they talk about how one can play an active role in the service of the country and for the mankind. So the book 1 is known as the dialogue of the council, because there is a conversation among three characters. Now, book 2 deals with the concept of the remote island Utopia and the people living there, the Utopians. In the book 2 of Utopia, the character Raphael Hitloday talks about the geographical features of the remote island Utopia and about the country life of the Utopians, about their system of law, marriage, divorce, about their economy, and about the whole life patterns of the Utopians. Now, please do remember that Thomas More and Peter Giles are real persons, but in Utopia they are fictionalized, and the concept of Utopia is also fictional. Now, let's discuss something more about the book Utopia.
The writer of the book Utopia, Thomas More, was born in the year 1478 and died in the year 1535, and he belonged to the period called the Age of Revival in the history of English literature. That was somewhere around 1400 to 1500. And we have already discussed the publication of the book Utopia. Now, what does the word utopia mean? Typically, utopia describes an imaginary community or society that possesses highly desirable or nearly perfect qualities for its members. So, utopia means a place of ideal perfection. Now, in the book 1 of Utopia, we have a discussion among three characters: Thomas More, Peter Giles, and Raphael Hitloday. Now, from their discussion, we got to know that the character Raphael Hitloday has deep understanding of the government of many nations, as he is a traveler and traveled many countries. Now, in their discussion, Hitloday talks about the condition of England of that time, which is not good for the nation, and therefore he gives his own suggestion how these problems can be resolved. So book 1 of Utopia represents the negative side of the picture which Thomas More intends to create. Now, in the book 2 of Utopia, Thomas More, Peter Giles, and Raphael Hitloday enjoy a pleasant dinner together, after which Raphael Hitloday gives an account of the whole life patterns of the utopians. Now let's talk about the book 2 of Utopia. There are no chapters in the book 1 of Utopia, and we have 9 chapters in the book 2 of Utopia. Chapter 1 In the chapter 1, Raphael talks about the geography and layout of the new island Utopia, in which in the chapter 2 he talks about the capital city, the Emerald City. So, the chapter 1 and 2 deals with the geographical features of the utopia. Next, in the chapter 3 of Utopia, Raphael describes their system of justice, that 30 families choose a magistrate, and the magistrate is responsible to communicate all issues of importance to the families, which means that no decision is made without the consent of the people living in Utopia. Next, chapter 4 deals with their manner of life, that no one works more than 6 hours a day, and except their working hours, they spend their time in reading, in lectures, in conversation, and in music, and no gambling is allowed for utopians, which means that they are not indulged in the game of dicing and cards. Then chapter 5 deals with their structure of family, that their home rules are very strict, in which the oldest man rules the household, wives serve their husband, and children their parents, and always the younger serves the elder, and no family can have more than 16 members in their family. Then in chapter 6 of the book 2, there are rules for traveling that in order to go to another town, they must ask for a special permission from the local government. And if anyone travels without permission, or and if the person repeats this crime, then he or she is condemned to slavery. Then Raphael describes the treasury of Utopia in this chapter and says that Utopians value iron more than gold. Then Raphael says that Utopians share a single religious principle that the soul of man is immortal, and that God of his goodness has designed that it should be happy. Next, in the chapter 7 of this book, Raphael says that Utopian people are enslaved for committing crimes like murder, and only slaves who rebel are put to death. Then Raphael talks about their system of marriage, that premarital sex is punished, and before marrying, both the bride and groom are presented one another naked, and no man may divorce his wife without her consent. Then chapter 8 deals with their military discipline, that both men and women take part in daily military exercise. Then the last chapter of the book 2, Utopia, deals with their religion, that some worship the sun, some other worship the moon, and some other planet, and most Utopians worship one deity that is known as Mithras. So that's all for today. If you have any query, you can post your comments in the comment section down below. And if you really like the video, then do subscribe to Literary Readers and keep watching Literary Readers. Thank you.